behind the couch where they normally jump up and bark at. So I'll go lean on the couch and I'll be like, oh, I'm looking out the window. And they're like, what are you looking at? Quiet, yes. And I'll pay the dog. They learn how to then look, but not bark. I have a low tolerance for barking. I'm around dogs all day. You'd think it'd be higher. And I wouldn't say I'm mean about it, but I just go, you get way more to not do it. And if you have to do it, then it means something. Then it means there's probably a threat out there, or something I should be, even the raccoon, something I should be worried about. Maybe it's a skunk. But I'll go look, but then I'll just go quiet, and then I'll go, okay, well, my mom saw it, she's fine with it, I don't have to bark anymore. So quite literally, go to every window, every door frame, and teach them how to be quiet at the common areas they bark at. You know, if you just do it from the couch, that's not where they commonly just bark, unless they're trying to get your attention. Okay? So, makes sense for quieting off as well? Okay, so the final two homeworks are actually the collar game and down. Any questions so far? Good boy. Yes. Good job. How many of you looked at him because he was so cute? So I have to be more exciting than anybody who's looking at him. And thank you for not petting him. That was perfect, right? You know, because then if they were petting him, then I might have had to go over. And you wanted to reach for the leash, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. If you don't know, I would rather you reach for the leash. I just started to become a little bit more exciting, right? So instead of me doing all the work, he's still got to do it, but he can actually get paid for it too. So if you come when called to that fun noise, that's fun, that's yes, and that's paycheck, right? What do you think? How exciting! How exciting is all the crumbs? So you can teach down from either an SIT, or sometimes I'll actually just teach from a stand, where I'll just put their nose to the ground like this with the lure, and then I'll kind of slowly back it up so the elbows bend. Yes. And give them just for a bow, a couple of yeses. Why? Because I want to at least give them encouragement in the right direction. I don't need perfect, I just need progress. Because then this next time I'll see what he wants to do. Baby. This is actually, you see how he's still a little quivery? It's not bad. It just is like he's still a little nervous, right? But he's working for it. He's like, okay, you got some fun stuff. I kind of like that stuff now. Good boy. And it doesn't help that it's very crumbly. And whether he does it or not, I keep my food inside my fist, basically, so I kind of keep it, and there's some crumbs here, obviously, but I don't want him to really look at it and get reinforced for just standing there. I want him to kind of just, like, go for it. And if he doesn't, and he backs away, it's no big deal. Like, quite literally, then, I back away. Nothing right now is critical. Would you agree? I don't need him to down, so I want him to think about why he's not getting paid. I don't need to pay him for every single little thing if he's unsure. Backing away, perfectly. Let him think about it. And then, you know, and I'm also not mom. He might drop for you. You know, but to practice, right? I'm brand new. I'm still a stranger. And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But if he comes back and wants to work, then we kind of do the same thing. Like maybe this time I'll see if he actually wants to. No, I don't want SAT. And I'm also very patient. If this takes 3 minutes to do one down, I would use that as a session. If in 3 minutes he doesn't DOWN, it doesn't matter. Then I walk away. He just doesn't get paid. Nothing bad has to happen. It's not critical, but nothing good happens either. If you want it, then you just have to follow it. And if I can start to get him to bend his elbows more, then I might say why yes again. Because he's a baby. He's still learning, right? He's like, I don't know what's going on. So I tried 3-4 times, but then I go away. Nothing bad, but nothing good. This is where a lot of people give in and they pull their feet out, or they push him into a down, or they do the work for the dog. I don't want him learning that basically we're going to work for him. I want him learning how to earn and work for me. Down, yes. How many of you saw that as a fluke? But how many of you saw me capture it? Lay down, you get paid. Lay down, you get paid. And I try to throw out the hand signal. Again, why do you pick your vocabulary? Whether you're pointing or you're putting your hand down, put out your hand signal that you want associated with your verbal. Yes. Good boy. Well, I got paid to keep my butt near last time.
He's one that likes the downward dog. We make fun of him all the time.
Yoga?
Because he literally
Yoga?
will do the downward dog.
And I just keep my food here for just a minute. He has two options. Stand up or lay down. Standing up gets nothing. And if he normally would be in the downward dog for a while or the play ball for a while, he's learned to do it longer and then eventually gets what he wants, right? Or gets the laughter or gets the smiling, right? So all we have to show him is that in order to get what he really wants, is I stay here and he either gets up or he lays down. Yes. I only said yes, I didn't say down. Why? Because in my criteria, down is fast. So I usually will wait the next couple of times, and when he does it faster, then I'll start cueing it down. You can say down if they're in position. Totally fine. But I wanted to explain why I did it right away. Better. Down. Yes. How fast was that?
It's quicker.
And am I saying anything else to him? Down. Yes. Capturing it. Good boy. And if he gets forward to get a treat, good boy. He's not as big of a cookie as last time. It's not. Down. Now watch what I do this time. It's hard to practice, but I'll try to see if you can do it. This will tell you how fast he picks up eye contact too. Yes. I waited for what? The gallery talked. It was so quiet. So I'm reinforcing, like, he looked, he startled, but he came back to me. Boom, paycheck. Come back to me. So I increased my what's called criteria. So I had him slow. I didn't say down, I just yes. But then the next time he downed pretty fast, and I said down yes, right? And then this next time I pushed it further, fast. You don't have to push it as fast. Like if you're waiting for eye contact and he just gets up, maybe try it one more time, but don't wait for eye contact. Do it a couple times without. But then I wanted to see how much did he pick up. And he's like, oh, if I look at you, yeah, that, boom, that got the paycheck. So hopefully, by learning theory, you start to also get a dog. Moving forward, you seem to have better progress over right here. It's not as big. I ran out. Very cool. I have another chunk. I do have another chunk. So I made my hand smellier. Oh man. But do you see how my behavior dictates his? Like I want him learning that there's no crumbs in here. I want him learning that if you don't do something, think about it, right? Because then the next thing would be if I were to get him into that down and I pull my food away and he looks me right in the eye right away, that's down, yes, jackpot, maybe done. Like if you can get your dog to do down once after a harder session, don't keep repeating it. I'm pushing him, like I'm actually pushing him, like I'm testing him a little bit further. But if your dog's having trouble with the DOWN and then suddenly he does it, very good. I dropped a crumb. He's like, man. But suddenly he does it. That didn't help. Oh, he's right there. Good. But if I can pull it away. Down. Yes. Very good. Nice job. There's the jackpot. We don't do it again. How many times do you need your dog to down in an emergency?
One.
So if he downs perfectly and looks at me and waits patiently, and it was hard for him to kind of get to that, as soon as he does it, bam, he's done. He got lots of stuff for that. That was very good. Yes, it was. Very good job. He's like, I don't know what we're doing, but okay. We'll figure it out. All right, I'll figure it out. So the very final game, super easy game, play it when you're, like if you had a long day at work, is I have food, but I just start to do collar, yes, and pay. Quite literally called the collar game. Collar, yes, and pay. Why? Because I don't want him shying away from having his collar touched. Only because if they play catch me if you can, I can go collar. Do you remember how Harper did when I said what Harper did when I said collar? Does anybody remember? She went and got it. Yep. But when I held it when I said collar, did anybody remember seeing her step forward? I didn't go to her. Collar meant here, put it on my neck. So quite literally, they put together like, hey, look, collar, yes. That way he doesn't shy away from hands either. All hands are good. They generalize fear very well. But if everything's good, and hands are good, and collar's good, and touch is good, and treats are great, then suddenly they're not actually being scared of hands. They're not going to play catch me if they can because you have something to fall back on, right? So the collar game is super easy to play, really easy for them to get, doesn't require eye contact. But I tend to say my sits and my downs require eye contact. My quiet, so here I'm sitting on the ground, right? Freebie. Boy, fail. That's a kibble, I have to crush that. I gotta chew that. That was minimum wage. That was a kibble, but it's flavored. Right? Touch. Wrong. I'm not there yet, Julie. Touch. Yes. There you go. Off. Yes. There you go. Quiet. Yes. I gotta crunch that one too. Got it? I have baby teeth. And by 6 months, all of his baby teeth are falling out, so that might be also why he's chewing more and having other, if they're sore and sensitive. Mm-hmm. But what pictures is he learning right now? Quiet. Yes. Just because I'm sitting on the floor, or if a child's sitting on the floor, doesn't mean you jump all over them. In fact, if you don't, or if they go off, or if they go touch, you don't have to climb on them, right? So we tend to train from the couch or standing up. Sit in a chair. Sit on the ground. Bring your food out and help them. Quiet. Yes. That's kibble. It takes you a while to chew the kibble. I owe you. There you go. He's like, excuse me. You said yes. So right, the chomping. Mm-hmm. When he backs away a little bit, gentle. Yes. See how he was choosing the SIT next. I just cover it. It's mine. You can't have it. I don't look at him. I'm not angry with him. But you can't have it as soon as you back away. Yes. You can have it all you want. Do you kind of see how my behavior dictates his? So I'm hoping to show you all of that. So, you're coming here for leash walking skills and stays and sits and downs, right? Those are probably the top common ones. But I want to try to give you life skills because all of this is that big puzzle picture. This is why they pull. This is why they don't. That's why they jump on you. That's why they don't stay. Because they don't understand yet. But once they understand, they do. When a dog knows something, they do it. It's not that, he knows it. He knows he's doing it wrong. Unless you've taken him, I want to say, if you've taken him to Fromm Pet Fest, the Pet Expos, under thousands of people, thousands of dogs, and you've said sit 9 times out of 10, and he sits 9 times out of 10, and then blows you off once, he probably knows it and blew you off. But until you do those things, I can take my dog anywhere, anytime, under any distraction, and I have 90% obedience. There's no 100%. She'll choose to blow me off one time, but then I usually can go back into just, you get what you want for all the good behaviors. So start to think of proactive versus reactive. Make sense, Mom? And thank you for standing up here the whole time. I appreciate it. Settle, yes. I like her now.
He doesn't want to go home with me now. He's like, you can go back away.
He's like, I needed my mom at first, but my mom says it's okay now, and she actually has cheeks and natural balance. Right?
Yeah,
Settle.
some of that.
Yes. There you go. So any questions? Clean off my hands. I don't have to wash them. Yeah.
So we have a rescue dog, Maddie.
Maddie, yeah.
Met Julie.
And we had her eating out of my hand
Yes,
in 3.5 minutes or so. Reactive type dog. But,
I have a lot of anxiety bringing her here next week, because she doesn't, I don't know how she's going to act around other dogs yet.
Sure.
I've walked her outside the dog park, she barks, she wags her tail.
Okay, but
I
she's
think
still on high drive.
But she's still
Yeah, if you have no other questions, absolutely. If you have to leave and don't have no questions, absolutely. Otherwise, yes, now is the Q&A. So I will email you all the homework stuff. Yes, good boy. Good job. That was pretty good. Can you chew that one for me? There you go. Ah, there you go. Off. Yes. Oh, good job. Right? Off. Yes. He's like, okay, okay. Yes. So what I would, so you walked outside the dog park. I would actually, and you don't have to stay up here if you like to sit down or whatever. Totally fine, totally fine. Or if you have to go, I think I just we gotta get you your toys. They can always get your toys too if they need to.
I don't have anything, sorry, bro.
Yes. I don't want to, Mom. Yes. Half an hour. Yeah. Okay. He's bribable though. He's bribable though. There you go. Go with Mom. You got it. And then as soon as he comes with you, then come. Yes. Okay. There you go. He's like, oh, okay. He said, well, now I'm over here. What's going on? So if you brought her outside the dog park, like maybe take her, and we can always talk by phone. So plan maybe, so work on the starter stuff, right? Well, I know we started some of it. We'll work on maybe the collar game, the touch a little bit more, see if we can get more repetitions. Bring her maybe to like outside of a pet store. So one of my like field trips, when I say pet store, I also don't mean you have to go in the pet store. Pet Supplies Plus has a really long sidewalk. That's where I go. If I don't know how the dog's gonna react in the store, I don't go in the store. And I'll be honest, like I would rather not overwhelm a dog. I'd rather them see 50 people walking in and out from 20 feet away and being able to deal with this. So if you like bring her to the sidewalk area and she's barking and reacting, can we call her to touch? Can we turn her off? Because that's kind of what we're trying to teach is that impulse control. So if we can stay quiet and she immediately stops and I can pay her, even if she goes right back into it, we're gonna start checking outs and other behaviors next week. But if that's where you're like, oh wow, this is not working, then maybe we pause for class, and this is the option for anybody. Like, I have tons of behavioral options. If class isn't for your dog, then we just kind of like prorate it to either do a lesson or we do more homework in between to then jump into another class in the future, because there are dogs that don't fit into a class right away. And it's nothing that you've done. It's just some dogs are like, Disneyland? No. How many of you want to go talk in front of 30,000 people? Here, go teach calculus. No. So part of that is okay. So don't feel like you fail class. Like again, like I always tell people, don't feel like if your dog's barking more than 10 minutes next week, because every dog's going to come in excited, it's going to